Coach, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's complete to Williams. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Gerald McCoy. Breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today, Frank.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On third down, Winston. Complete, he finds Bray. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
A first down throw for Winston. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Winston now from the 50. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead grows to 10-0. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. For the moment, they're on top of their division, projected to host a wild-card game in the first weekend, but nothing is set in stone. There's a lot of shuffling that can still go on here. They haven't even clinched the playoff berth.
A lot goes into that one word you use, doesn't it? But. You're exactly right, because nothing's clinched. So that means another win is necessary, being able to play to the best of their abilities, because they can go from where they are right now to right out of the playoff race. If things go in the wrong direction for them, they've got to take care of business.
Now the rookie from Alabama, it's Bo Scarborough. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And Brate, the tight end's got it. There are the numbers for Brate from a week ago. 6 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
And that gives him 9 for the season, and I've been around the game long enough to know this. 10 is the benchmark number. All right, people want to get to there because that really signifies that you've had the year that you've been looking for and also gives you respect around the league.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
let's get a conversion. Let's go.
Now Jameis on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because of running back.
Jameis now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. A give to Jones, and he stopped immediately there. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Jameis to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Breaks the tackle. Now Alley fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry by Elliott. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A give to Elliott. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. The 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Prescott from the gun. On the left side, Gallup's got him. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Cowboys have broken the tie. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The give is to Elliott. They find some open field here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Gerald McCoy in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Rolling to his right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jameis now on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. On 1st and 10, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. From the gun, Winston. He's going to let this go deep for Jim. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. So we have come to halftime here in Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Winston now, pretty remarkable. 14 of 15 through the air, only one incompletion. And another 1st and 10 here. They'll run it with Jones. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Off the toss, Cohen. And he's got room. 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run. This is Scarborough. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like 4-down defensive linemen.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
1st down, Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Over the middle, complete. It's Cohen. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kendall Beckwith not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Prescott. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by M.J. Stewart. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Hey, let's get it converted.
Second down, Winston. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. David Irving in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Winston looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Winston. And he's got his man on the out route. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Winston. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go to Elliott again. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Fielded just inside the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play in the football.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
On second down, it's Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Hey, easy, man, 50.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Now Winston. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. On first and 10, Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Prescott now on second down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Prescott now. A dump off to Elliott. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Prescott yet again. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down, but they are in field goal range already. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Back to throw. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. He'll look to throw. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside. Defense.
And yes, they want the point, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
They do tack on the extra point as well, and that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
He's back to throw. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Winston. Complete. He finds Brate. The Buccaneer first. Winston to Brate. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Now Winston. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Jameis to throw it. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. One last shot now for Winston. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone. But anytime you're outside the 10, that's tough trying to draw the final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get close.